Okay, so we're going to create the user edit screen now, and we want to pull the user details into the form in the edit screen. But one thing I want to change in the user list is the link. So this link to the edit, I think we should use admin for all of these. So all the admin pages will do /admin, and then this will be user ID edit. So let's change that. And then I just want to look in the console here because we have just a couple warnings. So in user actions right here, we're not using this data variable. We're putting the response into data and we're not using it. We don't have to pass it in here. So let's just get rid of that. So it's just await Axios delete. And then we just have one of these stupid missing dependencies in user list screen. So if we go up to use effect right here and we pass in user info, that should shut that up. All right. Close that out. Let's make this smaller. So now these links here should now go to admin/user ID and edit. So we want to create a screen for that. So let's go to screens. Oops. And in screens, we're going to create a file called user edit screen.js. And let's go ahead and actually let's copy. You know what we'll do is copy the register screen because it's pretty similar. So I'm just going to grab everything in register and paste that in here, and let's change this to user edit screen and get rid of this row right here. I know we don't need that. And I know the button, let's say update. And then up at the top, let's change this to user edit screen. And then as far as what we want to bring in here, let's see, we don't need a row and column from Bootstrap. We want this stuff. As far as actions for now, let's bring in our get user details. So we're going to reuse that action here. Remember, we used that back in the profile update screen. So let's see, we're going to pass in, we don't need location, but we're going to pass in match because I want to get the user ID and put that into a variable. So match.params.id. Now as far as the state, we're not going to need a password and confirm password. I do want to have an isAdmin and set isAdmin, and we'll set that to false by default. And then we don't need this message here. Okay, we have our dispatch. As far as what we want to bring in from the state, for now we just want user details. So I'm going to change that to user details, and what we want is loading, error, and user. And we don't want this redirect. And then I'm going to clear out the use effect, clear out these dependencies, and the submit handler, we'll just keep the prevent default for now. And then down here in the output, I'm actually going to return a fragment here, and I want to have a go back link. So let's say link to, and this is going to go to /admin/user list, and let's just give it a class name of btn light, and my3. Let's say go back. Okay, and then under that we want this form container, so I'm going to grab this whole form container here and cut that, and we're going to put this right here. Now I'm going to change sign up to update user, or let's say edit user, and take out this stuff here for now. And then under edit user, I want to check to see if it's loading. So loading is coming from our get user details. So if it's loading, we'll show a loader. Else, if there's an error, then we'll show a message. We should have had danger as the default variant, because that's what we've been using. So error, and then we'll have an else. So else, open up some parentheses, and let's take the take this form. Wait, the form container, yeah, the form container. I'm going to paste this in here. And yeah, that should be right. All right, now for the form, it's going to be very similar. We're going to have the name, so all this can stay the same. The email can stay, but we don't want password and confirm password. So let's get rid of confirm password, and then this is going to be a checkbox group. So let's change this to isAdmin, and let's get rid of the label. And instead of form control, we want form check. And the type is going to be checkbox. And no placeholder. We want, actually we want a label. So the label for this is going to be isAdmin. And then the value will be from the state isAdmin, from the component state. I'm also going to have a checked value here, and checked is, actually we don't need a value, we would need a checked. So isAdmin. So we can actually get rid of the value. And then for the on change here, it's going to be set isAdmin, but it's not going to be eTarget value, it's eTarget checked. And I think that should do it. Now we need to fetch the details. Actually, let's add this to the app.js first. So let's go to app.js and let's bring in user edit screen. And then for the route, I'm going to copy this, and it's going to go to admin/user/id/edit, and this will be user edit screen. All right, so we'll save that, and now if we click on one of these, we should see a page like this. Good. Now we want to fill this with the details. So we already brought in, the action, the get user details action. So we want to fire this off in the use effect, but we want to first check to see if there's already a user. So let's say if not user, and we'll check for one of the fields, like say if not user name. Then actually I also want to make sure, let's say or the user._id is not equal to the user ID. Now the user ID is coming from the URL right here. We just want to make sure that it matches the ID. If it doesn't, then we want to fetch the user. Okay, so if it doesn't exist or if it doesn't match the URL, then we want to dispatch get user details. And get user details, we're going to pass in the user ID like that. Okay, else, so if the user is already here, then let's set our fields. So set name to user.name, set email, and set isAdmin. All right, so let's save that, and I think we should be good. So if we go back, no, it's not working. Oh, actually, you know what? We need to pass the user into the useEffect dependencies so that it updates. There we go. So now we're getting the name, the email address. Let's also we'll pass in user ID and dispatch as well. All right. Now, if I go back to users and let's look at the admin user, admin should be checked. Okay, so there it is. It's checked. We're getting the details. So the next step is to make this form function, because right now we don't have the ability to actually update the user. So that's what we're going to do in the next video.